The Quest 3 is almost here, and some new information is starting to trickle out. Next month, we finally get the official reveal and release date when everything is announced at Connect on September 27th. Here is everything you need to know before then to prepare for your pre-order. Oh, and yes, I am randomly sitting in a racing rig. Let's get started. First up, thanks to some FCC approvals, we actually have some information about an unannounced accessory that makes me very excited. This is not necessarily confirmed as of yet, but the FCC approval is for a Quest 3 charging dock. Yes, that's right, a charging dock like the Quest Pro has. If you've watched any of my other videos, I've mentioned in the past that I hoped that this had a charging dock because I love the Quest Pro's charging dock. And back in the renders that sadly it's Bradley had done, there was the 3-pin connector on the bottom of the Quest 3, hinting at the fact that it would potentially have a charging dock. Well, now there's a few things to talk about. First of all, the controllers. Let's go back to another FCC approval and we will come back to this charging dock. The controllers got FCC approval, officially confirming that they do use AA batteries. So they are going to be replaceable AA batteries. What's interesting about that, though, is that the FCC approval for the charging dock actually lists the controllers as having a spot to recharge. Now, what exactly does that mean? Well, if it's using AA batteries, it doesn't need to recharge, right? Well, yes and no. You see, a lot of people use rechargeable AA batteries in their Quest 2 controllers for good reason, because even though they last forever, you don't have to worry about ever having to replace them or throw them out, you just recharge them. Well, it seems as if this charging dock that has yet to be announced could potentially charge your Quest 2 controllers by charging the rechargeable battery. Now, my speculation is that either the Quest controllers are going to come with rechargeable batteries in the pack for the Quest 3. Usually it does come with a battery for the controller, so that would make sense. Or when you buy the official charging dock, it'll come with a rechargeable battery. Meta is not going to leave to chance a rechargeable battery not charging properly, especially if this dock is official and it's designed to recharge rechargeable batteries. So in my opinion, we're either going to get rechargeable batteries with the Quest 3 for the controllers, or the rechargeable batteries will come with the charging dock. Either way, I love that idea. The Quest Pro, one of the best features of the entire headset is the charging dock, because my headset's never dead. When I put it away, I store it on the charging dock, same with the controllers, and I never have to worry about it being dead. Quest 2, on the other hand, if it wasn't plugged in, then it's probably dead. So that alone is huge when it comes to Quest 3 news, in my opinion. It's not officially announced, but it is officially approved through the FCC, so we'll probably hear something about it at Connect. So that's not the only thing that was actually approved through the FCC. Obviously, the charging dock and the controllers were. We also got some confirmation for the Quest 3 and an FCC approval that confirms it is using 6 GHz Wi-Fi 6E. So this should actually make for a more consistent and better connection when you're using AirLink or you're connected to your Wi-Fi for gaming. It's the same thing the Quest Pro has. Well, the Quest 2 was designed for 5 GHz. The Quest Pro does use that 6 GHz, and so will the Quest 3. Now let's go back to the controllers really quick. Let's just talk about the overview of everything we know about Quest 3 as we get excited and closer to the launch. Having mentioned the controllers that were approved through the FCC filings, these are the new Touch Plus controllers that do not have a ring. One of the best things about this, that's most important about this, is that it actually gives for less friction when you're trying to do VR interactions. Having used the Quest 2 the other day and played a game, I realized just how much I missed the Quest Pro controllers because of the lack of ring. You don't actually realize how many times you smash them together when you're reloading a gun or trying to grab something that's close to the other hand until you've used the Quest Pro controllers, and you don't have to worry about that. That's one thing I think the Quest 3 is going to bring that people aren't necessarily thinking about that's better than the Quest 2 beyond its power, is these new redesigned controllers. We've talked about it in the past, but it tracks using the lights on the face of the controller itself instead of on the ring, and it uses AI and its hand tracking models to track them as well, so it doesn't have to worry about occlusion. Okay, so the rest of everything you need to know. We know that it's being announced officially on September 27th at Connect. I am working my hardest and my darndest to get there, so I can bring you all of the news from the front lines as quickly as possible and hopefully have near real-time information to all of you so you can keep up to date on what's happening. Not just from the keynote, but from everything else going on, and I'm trying to schedule some exclusives with developers that are going to be there as well, so please keep an eye on the channel for all of that awesome stuff. But anyways, September 27th, we're getting more than likely price, all the specs, and a release date. My expectation is a release date to be in October, probably within 2 to 3 weeks from the time it's announced for pre-order on September 27th. That would be consistent with the past release pre-order structure that we've seen for the Quest headsets. Pricing is, again, $500 to start, 128 gigabytes. That's probably the only difference in price. You're going to see more gigabytes of storage for the more price point. We don't know what those price points or what the storage options are going to be as of yet. Probably September 27th. We will see those. It is smaller or slimmer, as Meta is saying, by approximately 40%, which is primarily because of the new pancake lenses, which is going to be amazing. Again, jumping back from my Quest Pro to my Quest 2, you notice a massive difference both in clarity and in just how overall the experience is when you've used the Quest Pro for a while with those pancake lenses. Honestly, if you haven't tried it, I say this all the time, you are going to be surprised how big of a difference those lenses make. But not only do they make a difference for clarity and resolution and all that fun stuff in the headset, it makes it so that the actual optical stack is smaller, thinner, whatever, so that the headset can be smaller. It does weigh approximately the same as the Quest 2 though, but the balance is better because the weight is closer to your face, so you should feel less downwards pressure and pulling on the front of your face and your forehead and all of that good stuff. We know that they're getting custom straps because we've seen pictures of a custom Quest 3 Elite strap type of thing, just like the Quest 2's Elite strap. We don't know what other accessories except for, again, the charging dock. Hopefully we'll get more information about that, and hopefully they actually release that because that for me is a must-have accessory. It's just honestly a lifesaver. We know that the pass-through cameras are going to be better on the outside of the Quest 3 to the point where it is not eye resolution, like you're not going to look like you're looking through glasses, but you're actually going to be able to see a 3D representation of the outside world and interact with things in the outside world as well as according to leaks and information, see your actual phone and screens without having to take your headset off. The clarity should be that much better. Plus, with the depth sensor, you're going to get real depth perception and scanning of your environment to not only help with the Guardian system, but also with mixed reality. Speaking of mixed reality, I've seen a lot more of mixed reality stuff, and I've actually been working on a video on the mixed reality aspect of the Quest 3. It's just taking a while, and I'm getting more excited the more that I see of this mixed reality stuff. It's looking fantastic, and I haven't even seen any footage of it with Quest 3 really yet, just on Quest Pro. So get excited for mixed reality with me, please. It's going to be awesome, even if it's not what you primarily use the Quest 3 for. As everyone knows, it's more powerful, about 2.5 times more powerful than the Quest 2, so you're going to get a lot more power for whatever the developers decide to use that power for. This is the next generation Qualcomm chip, and it's going to bring additional power and additional ability or whatever, or however you say it, for developers. I personally am very curious to see what that means. The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners is getting an update for Quest 3, so we know they're taking advantage of the power, but what exactly is that going to mean? I don't know, and we're going to check out as soon as we possibly can and compare side by side, because that is one thing I'm very curious about. The jump from Quest 1 to Quest 2 was big. Is the jump from Quest 2 to Quest 3 going to be even bigger? That remains to be seen, and I sure as heck hope so. Like I mentioned, the pancake lenses are going to be a massive part about the visual experience, but also the screens inside are actually going to be a higher resolution and possibly a higher refresh rate. We don't know exactly the refresh rate for sure. It's been leaked by certain people and in documentation and all this fun stuff, as leaks do, that it could be 120 hertz. I doubt it'll be 120 hertz native. The Quest 2 can do 120, depending on the experience, but I don't really honestly see that massive of a difference between 90 and 120 personally. I mean, it'd be awesome if all the games ran at 120 hertz, but in all honesty, I'd be happy if they ran at 90, because I do see a difference between 72 and 90. But anyways, back to the resolution. Resolution is higher than the Quest 2, and I believe in the Quest Pro. Some people have told me I'm wrong about that, but from what I can see on the numbers that have been leaked around, it seems like it would be higher resolution, considerably higher than the Quest Pro, and the screen will be better, albeit not local dimming, so you won't get those deep blacks. I don't know. There's trade-offs on either side. I'm curious to see what the difference is between those two headsets as well from a resolution and clarity standpoint. Those are the primary big things. For me, the biggest questions that I have are games, because we haven't really heard anything about what this power is going to do for the games, what it's going to do for the current games that we play right now, and battery life, and, all those different things. There's a lot of questions up in the air. We don't really have a lot of spec information, just a lot of hearsay and a little bit of information that Meta has given us to tease us. So very soon now, it's nearly time. June 1st, we got our announcement. It is now the middle of August, and I'm really, really excited for September. It's almost here, and we'll finally get to see what the Quest 3 has to offer. I hope we get some game announcements. Also, it would be awesome to hear some more information about Horizon at Connect and what that's going to mean for the Quest 3. If you have not played the new game in Horizon, it's something Rumble. I can't remember the name off the top of my head. I'll put the footage on screen here. It's a lot of fun. I've been playing it, and it's a blast. It's the best game by far Horizon has ever had, and it actually legitimately gives you a reason to actually play. It's one of the better online shooters on the Quest, if I'm being honest, and it's free, so go check it out. That's in Horizon, and from the rumblings I've heard and the things that I've seen and people talking about, there is a lot of fun stuff coming to Horizon as well, so hopefully we'll see more of that at Connect. Maybe we'll even hear something about the legs that were mentioned last year. That would be awesome to get legs finally. And also mentioned last year at Connect, they talked about Microsoft bringing the Word and other, productivity apps to the Quest platform. I'd love to see that. But what I'd be more interested to see would be bringing Game Pass, like the games, flat games, They announced that was supposed to be coming. Microsoft Game Pass or Xbox Game Pass or whatever you call it. Hopefully we'll see that as well. So many fun things we can hope to look forward to. And then on top of that, hopefully some game announcements. I've heard some little birdies say that there are games specific for Quest 3 that'll probably run on Quest 2. I don't know for sure. But that are being waited to be announced along with the Quest 3 that are kind of like the launch-ish titles. Do you know what I mean? Those titles that are going to be really selling the Quest 3 console. We've got ones like Asgard's Wrath 2 that looks really good, and Assassin's Creed, and those games are great. But I'm hoping to get some big-name games out for Connect as well. What are you thinking about the Quest 3? Are you excited for it? Are you looking forward to it? Are you going to buy it? Are you just sticking with your Quest 2? Or maybe you got a Quest Pro and you're sticking with that? Let me know down below what you think. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to keep up to date on all things Quest 3, and hopefully to travel virtually with me to Connect at the end of September. Thanks so much for watching. Stay safe and happy questing.